Hi FCST 1010 students. Welcome to week 6 of FCST. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Mine is still going on. It's about 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and the U.S. ladies won the Solheim Cup this morning in golf, and I've been watching it for 3 days. It was incredible. Great comeback. Gators won last night. Georgia won yesterday. I hated that Tech lost. I wanted them to beat Notre Dame, but it was a good game. And, of course, the Falcons won. That was a great game, too. Fantastic game. Now I'm watching men's golf, and my guys aren't going to win, but that's okay. They're playing good. But anywho, I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. And if you're a sports fanatic, I hope your team won. If you're not a sports fanatic, I hope you had a great weekend just the same. This week we're going to get started into Module 6. Last week, I love Module 5. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the healthy eating videos. They kind of get me motivated. And I kind of try to pick up a healthy eating habit. Every time that I get to this section in FCST, I try to pick up a healthy eating habit. And mine was to cut down on soft drinks. I usually drink a 12-ounce Coke per day, and I tried to cut it down to a 7.5-ounce Coke, and I did. And if I found that if I just buy the smaller ones, then I don't have the big ones to drink. So my soda intake or Cokes. Cokes are what I drink. I don't drink anything else. Cokes, iced tea, and water. But anywho, I hope you enjoyed Challenge 5 and learning about the effects of sleep deprivation and eating healthy and all of the above. So now we're moving on to Module 6 in the LibGuide. And it's funny, every time I get to a module, I always say, and this will be the most important module that you do. But I will say that this may be, and it says, one of the most important aspects of being a successful college student, because it has to do with test taking and memorization and everything that you need to know in order to be a successful college student. You're going to have to memorize facts. Critical thinking is great too, but you will have to memorize facts. Reading was important. You're still going to have to memorize facts. You're going to have to take tests. Okay, how do you do that? Well, first of all, during day 1, step 2, you're going to get a sheet of paper, number a sheet of paper from 1 to 13 before you play the video. Once you play the video, it'll tell you when to stop it or whatever. Then it'll go back and you'll count how many you got right. It's kind of a memory. It's a memory game. It lasts just a minute or so. And what it wants to get across is, how did you remember the things in the video? I won't say, because then that would give a hint about how you memorize things. But once you do that, and you find out how many you got correctly, try to figure out different ways that you memorize it, if that makes sense. And I'll talk about that more next week, because I don't want to give it away this week. Step 3 is 3 ways to improve your memory. Step 4, flashcards. Here is the article right here, Flashcards, the Secret of Memorization. I couldn't have lived without flashcards when I went to nursing school many moons ago. The other thing about your memory, and we kind of learned this when we were talking about sleep deprivation, is sleep deprivation will affect your memory. So first of all, get enough sleep. And if we're talking about eating healthy and sleep deprivation, exercise is another way. It is oxygen is food for your brain. Eating right, that has to do with your memory. Use your memory. Condition your brain by doing puzzles and games and reading and solving math problems. Be motivated. That is probably the best reason to try to memorize something. Think positive. Use positive self-talk. This also helps your attitude. And then I want you to read the article over flashcards. Your journal entry for this week is, how do you feel when you take a test? Be honest. Are there any certain strategies that you use before you take a test? Anything at all? My twin and I, we used to, this is a crazy strategy. We used to always fix Japanese food the night before. We would use bamboo shoots, water chestnuts, rice, soy sauce. We would kind of make a little mini moo goo gai pan. We would have fortune cookies, and we would drink hot tea. Before every test, I would put a peppermint in my mouth because experts say that it opens your brain up and it helps you think better and concentrate. Those were my strategies. That and getting a good night's sleep. The last thing that you want to do is come into a test on three wheels, late for the test. You're frazzled beyond belief, and it really works against your concentration. So, journal entry number 6, are there certain strategies that you use? Are you nervous before a test? Do you have to calm yourself down? If so, how do you calm yourself down? I calmed myself down by being prepared. That was the way I calmed myself down. I was prepared. I got a good night's rest. And I'll go over all of this when I get to this day 2. And it says, when you completed journal entry 6, you wrote down your thoughts and feelings about test taking. Whether you were a stress-free test taker or you're rattled, the following video will give you wonderful test taking tips. And a lot of these videos say the same thing over and over and over again. It says that you need to arrive on time. You need to wear comfortable clothing. If you're cold-natured, then you don't want to wear shorts. You'll be freezing during the entire test, and all you'll think about is, oh, I wish I had a blanket. Oh, I wish I had on a fleece pullover. Likewise, if you're hot-natured, maybe you want to take some of your clothing off. If you're hungry, all you're going to think about is, oh gosh, I can't wait to get out of here so I can get something to eat. If you're sleepy, oh, I can't wait to leave here so I can sleep. When I graduated from nursing school, we were the first nursing class to ever take our boards online. And we had planned, my twin and I had planned to drive to Chattanooga and take it at a Sylvan Learning Center, and there were probably about 20 people from my class that took it. And they said, if your computer turns off at 75 questions, then you've aced it. If it keeps going, then you probably flunked it. Well, we did not spend the night before. We left the morning of. It came a thunderstorm on the way. You had to be there right when your scheduled time was, or you would forfeit your time slot. So I was worried that I was going to miss my time. The traffic was bumper to bumper. And like I said, it was coming a severe thunderstorm. When we got there, I was so rattled from trying to get there on time that I had already done myself in. I was cold, hungry, rattled, all on top of being nervous. And when my computer, I guess my twins got to 75 first, and she got up and walked off, and I said, did your computer cut off? And she said, yep. And then I saw 3 or 4 other people get up and walk off. Mine, when I hit submit on 75, it rolled over to question number 76, and I thought, oh my gosh, I flunked it. Well, I had to keep going. I couldn't just stop with the chance that maybe, it would cut off. I took the maximum number of questions, and I missed passing my nursing boards by 2 questions. I did my own self in. It was my own fault. I got to take it 3 months later. I took it in Atlanta. My mother drove. I scheduled it at a time where I didn't have to leave early. I got plenty of sleep the night before. We planned on going shopping after it was over, and I passed it with flying colors. And I got a better nursing job than my twin. Ha ha ha. But anyway, don't set yourself up for failure ahead of time. That is my point of all that. Don't set yourself up for failure. This is an infographic. If you will click on the infographic, and then when you get to it, well, if it will ever pull up, you can left click on the infographic, and it talks about cramming for a test, what it does to you when you try to cram for a test. If you can't teach it to somebody else, then you don't know it. If you can't teach it to somebody else, you don't know it. I don't assume that everybody and their brother drinks alcohol. If you drink alcohol the night before a test, you will lose some of your brain function. It's just a proven fact. A lot of kids, when I was in high school, they would go out and drink the night before the SATs, and I would think, well, that's really smart. You're going to take one of the most important tests of your life, and you're going to go out and drink the night before. And they were underage. So I would think you'd want to kill the brain cells after you take the test and you want to celebrate, and not beforehand. But these are a lot of ways to overcome test anxiety. Challenge 6. Let's see, your weekly journal, and your 2 replies will be due Wednesday before midnight. Your challenge 6 will be due next Sunday, September the 27th before midnight. And what I want you to do, listen to these carefully. I want you to read both of these articles. They're short and sweet. I want you to find 3 strategies, not from each of these articles, but 3 altogether. Whichever one from these 2 articles, you can combine them, but 3 strategies altogether. And you are going to write 3 paragraphs, 1 paragraph for each strategy that you chose. And then I want you to label each paragraph 1, 2, and 3. It says explain in the paragraph why you chose the strategy and how you will use it. Why did you choose this particular test-taking strategy? How will you use it in your classes? What made you want to choose it? So you will actually have 3 paragraphs for Challenge 6. Make sure you label your paper in MLA style, and email me with any questions that you have. This is a very important module to go through. The test-taking tips, especially if you're not already using them, try using them this semester. See how it works, see what works best for you. If you don't have a lot of tests this semester, then use it next semester. Find out what works for you, though. Try the peppermint. Try getting plenty of sleep. Try getting there on time. Try studying with a partner. And what I found, and like I'll preach it again, if you cannot teach it to somebody else, then you don't know it. If you have any questions, please email me at kwheeler@highlands.edu. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Have a wonderful week next week. And I will talk to you guys next Sunday. Take care.